Okay. No, you're quite right. Inspiration, I take rather simply, that God has given us these books and guided these books for his Christian community. They're talking about the New Testament. Now, it doesn't really decide whether you understand the author as simply writing God's truth in an unadulterated and therefore unhistorically conditioned manner, so that you simply open it and say, now this is God's truth, almost after a series of propositions, or whether this book reflects growth, struggle, half vision of God, because that is the way God wanted to guide his community, to see a paradigm for church life. Now you see, I think, as I presented John, this could be an enormously inspired message. Now, people might say, look, I only want to go to John to get answers about what I should do, what I should believe. But how does that prepare you to live in a Christian community that has its divisions, that rubs elbows with other Christian communities, where we scarcely ever do anything except by moving from one end of the pendulum to the other? Somebody once said to me, why do we always rock back and forth? Why don't we, find it? Well, if you're going to use a pendulum image, the only way you keep the clock ticking is to rock back and forth. And that pretty much is our life. We never go just so far. It always goes farther than we anticipate, and then you got to withdraw a bit. Now, if you have a set, untroubled body of answers of people who never have any problems, see everything clearly, well, it might be consoling, but it isn't going to really tell you how God's people lives in the world, where this kind of a paradigm may be God's teaching for his community to say, look, what our Christian communities lived with. They preserved the truth, but they preserved it sometimes in struggle and polemics and by backing back and forth. That could be very much God's inspired teaching, even as much as if you had it just a set body of answers. So I don't think it destroys the sense in which these are special books given by us to God, by God with a special authority. It's sometimes your attitude towards inspiration is the way you think God ought to have done it. In other words, some people say, look, if he gave us a set of books, we shouldn't have any doubts. We should just be able to open them and have answers. I don't find that God deals that way in our lives. We wouldn't really have any human problems if all we had to do is say, God, give me the answer. I've got it. I don't have to think. Our life is built on discovering God's answer, and discovering it sometimes in the tragedies of our life more than in the sureties. And so something like this could be very helpful. I better give you coffee time, and I want to thank you very much.